Good morning. I'm John Steggy. I am a real estate attorney. I've been practicing law in Denver, Colorado since 1990. And this morning I'm going to be talking briefly about introduction to partnership asset protection. And basically today, why would I want a partner? This perspective is entirely centered around what my practice area is. Real estate law and real estate partnership and securities laws. So basically, why would I want a partner if I'm going to be an investor and investing in real estate? This is the fundamental question, because if you don't want a partner, if you don't need a partner, there's really no reason to go get one. And the beginning is if you have a partner, obviously you're going to have to share a percentage of your profits with this partner. So the question arises immediately, what would justify that? Is there more risk? Is there less risk? What's the point? Well, some of the reasons why you would want a partner, especially in real estate development as a business, is the partner has knowledge or resources that you lack. Basically, you're multiplying the business resources needed for success. For example, the partner may have access to capital that you lack. He may have, or she may have, superior credit worthiness, capital resources to contribute. They may have money that they've saved up that they can contribute to developing a property. They may have business relationships with outside investors. They may have credit risk. They may have credit lines. They may know people that they could bring in to the partnership. The partner may have skills to contribute. That's necessary. In fact, a good real estate team in development has a number of factors that go into it. For example, obviously selecting a valuable property, financing the purchase, developing the property, that is like rehabbing it or building it or fixing it up, managing it, and also then sales techniques and marketing and sales if you're ever going to sell it, or leasing and managing if you're going to rent it. So the partner may have management skills to contribute, such as financial management and budgeting. They may be a finance guy and you might not be. A contractor, they might have their own crew of workers. They might know contractors. They might have done this all. An architect who's experienced in zoning and permitting and analyzing what you can do with a specific piece of property is a useful thing. The partner, another very, very common partnership tool, is someone who has property to contribute. One partner is, I have this piece of property, but I'm not an expert in redeveloping it. I could do this myself, I suppose, and figure it out and go hit or miss, but I could really use someone who has the skills and has done this a lot before. So they may own property that they could contribute to the partnership. That's a very common one. The partner has contacts with other needed professionals. They may be in banking, for example, and they may know equity investors that you could utilize. So all those things are actually reasons why you would want a partnership. So the first thing that you have to analyze is it really worth having a partner? And that's the whole aspect of asset protection that I'm going to talk about in a series of talks. This is just the introductory kind of beginning piece that I'm going to look at and say, well, just this one thing, what would I do with a partner if I even had one? If you feel like, okay, I'm wanting to do business with this person, I have a friend that we're both interested in real estate investing, we'd like to share the risk. This is another aspect of it. Two people, more risk splitting. Two people might, both of them have assets to contribute, and therefore we're both going in, we're both going to be on the contract, and we're both going to share the risk, and we could do this together. It's easier than one person doing it alone. That's a really good reason. Now, once you do have a partner, however, there are a whole series of problems that potentially could wind up being major problems for your business. And that is where we get into the whole asset protection lecture, which overall length of this is probably in excess of an hour once I go through the whole litany of things. This is just the introductory piece, because if you've decided that there's not a really good reason to have a partner, there's one other thing you might want to consider, and that is that, as I'll be discussing in this video presentation in future episodes, there are advantages to having multiple member businesses, entities, rather than single member. They do provide more asset protection. And what do I mean by asset protection? It's simply protection against creditors and known risk. Because the biggest thing about real estate that you must remember at all times is, while it is one of the most lucrative forms of investment that there is, at the same time, it is also highly risky, and there are a number of areas where you can lose your shirt if you don't know what you're doing. And so what this lecture series is about is really pointing out to investors and potential developers in real estate, what are the potential risks, how can I mitigate those risks, and how do I analyze the risk categories. So that's what we'll be talking about in like the next series. That's all for this particular introductory lecture, and if you're interested, you just click on the next link in the series, and we just move on to an analysis of asset protection strategies and what are the intrinsic risks, which are both internal and external. So there's risks both from your partners and from outside creditors. So all those things are things to think about, and we'll be exploring this in detail in future videos. So for now, my links, John Steggy, attorney at law. I'm in Denver, Colorado. My telephone contact is 720-431-1964, or you can reach me at John, JOHNSTEGE, the number 1, at Comcast.net. There's my email. Texting me either or sending me an email is the easiest way to reach me. So I'll talk to you soon. Look forward to seeing you on the next videos. Thanks. Bye.